baby. Why don't you let me in? Welcome everyone to the Barely Friends podcast. My name is Isaiah,
My name's Eric.
and we've got a lot to talk about in this episode. A lot of good things, a lot of interesting things, and a lot of one in the world things. So, welcome to episode 4 of season 3. First, we just have some some life updates. Eric, you want to share what you got going on?
Yeah, sounds good. So I mentioned it last month. I started my new position with Newsweek. So I'm covering NBA for them. And Newsweek, of course, is one of the world's top news magazines. And I've been starting this endeavor with them where it's me, myself, and another guy who are really covering the NBA for them. And honestly, I've been like really digging in and pumping out like 3 articles a day. And it's to the point that my dad asked me, like, oh, do you know that, Giannis did this or LeBron did this? And it's like I knew because I'm always like rewinding and looking at the news. So it just feels like I've been locked into the NBA, especially being in January now. And I know also Isaiah helped me over the summertime recording something for my music documentary. So I've actually been made a little bit of progress on it this month as well. And I'm looking forward to putting it out eventually. But just knowing that I'm in the middle of it, I've recorded some commentary about some songs, and it's getting closer to that release time.
That's great, man. I'm excited to see that. I know, like I said, I helped out a little bit with that last year at some point. So looking forward to that as a product as a whole. Yeah, congratulations to Newsweek again. Just congratulations
Yeah.
again. And I'm sure that's been fun. And you mentioned you interviewed Rick Barry. Is that correct on Newsweek?
I did, yeah. So I interviewed Rick Barry this week, and like I said, I think we had a really cordial discussion. He is known to be a very I wouldn't say the friendliest guy, but he is known to you know, irk a little bit of people sometimes.
Mm,
But he has some nice thoughts about the Warriors, about the NBA trade deadline coming up. And I'll say one piece of advice he gave is he does not think the Warriors should try to sign LeBron James.
mm.
He thinks he's too old. He said he's getting, injury prone, which I know LeBron's 41 years old. And also, I know Rick Barry had a controversial appearance recently for, I think it was an ESPN or Fox affiliate.
Okay.
And as I told you before the show, they were going at it. Oh, you're a loser. No, you're a loser.
Yep.
And with Rick, I don't want to have anything with that. I respect you, and we're both not losers. We can coexist.
There we go. Yes.
So,
That's good.
but
That's
it was
awesome.
nice to chat with him, and I keep asking him we should play pickleball someday.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's a big football guy.
Yeah, he's actually doing a Royal Caribbean cruise, and they're gonna be playing pickleball on the cruise.
Oh wow. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I love pickleball. I got my pickleball rackets. I'm no expert, but I love me a little bit of pickleball, so that'd be great.
Yeah,
It's
so
fun.
duos, us two, and then whoever Rick Barry can get.
Rick Barry and I don't know Steph Curry, maybe something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of dope. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for me, big 2-7 birthday coming up this Thursday, along with NBA trade deadline. So that relates. But yeah, I don't know how different I'll feel from 26 to 27. Maybe a little older. You have a perplexed face. What's up?
26 to 27.
Oh yeah, 6'7". Yeah, that's there. So, but yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. There should be a lot of good things happening. Work's good. Relationships good. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Did you make any birthday plans yet, or anything you're looking forward to?
So I already had a little bit of a celebration. Now, don't worry, it wasn't with friends. Okay, I didn't exclude you for anything. It was a family event. We went to Boombox in Providence. It's a karaoke place. And, yeah, you went to it last year.
Yep.
So I did with family, and it was a time. I can't share some of the things that were sung or said during that time, but I will show you after the show. Unfortunately, I know. Unfortunately, so we are a PG program. There was some over PG program, but I will show you those things after. It'll give you a laugh.
Nice. Can you share one of the songs that you sung?
Well, okay, I'll share one of the songs I sung. So I sang a Hamilton song, "My Shot." That's one of my classics. And another one I'll just say real quick. I sing a Frank Sinatra song, "My Way." My Way by Frank Sinatra. That's one of my go-tos. I feel like his vocal range in that song kind of fits with mine. So I usually sing that when I can in karaoke, and yeah. So those are a few. I sang like 6 or 7. Six songs, and it was fun. It was fun. So,
Yeah, do you wanna just give, like, a quick 5-second preview of, like, some karaoke for the audience?
oh
Or
my gosh, you want me to sing right
like
now?
like like, just a little clip.
Well, this all right, a little bit of Frank Sinatra, okay, a little bit. I did it my way. Okay, that's it. That's all I'll give. Thank you, thank you,
There we go.
thank you, thank you. Anyway,
Gotta sign you to my record label
yeah,
thing.
well, Paul, maybe, keep me on the interview. I don't mind interviewing you, but singing, well, maybe we'll wait on that. When I don't want to tarnish your album. All right, let's get started here with some great news. New England Patriots. I made it. If you haven't heard, okay, I got my Beanie Baby. Usually he's over here, standing over here, but I got him with this little trophy here because the New England Patriots have made it to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if some of you remember. Sorry, maybe a little more. And
Yeah.
we need more. I don't know if you remember, Eric, but I did mention a couple episodes before that the Patriots would make the Super Bowl in the next 5 years. I said we make it in 5 years. I was not planning we'd make it this year. I really didn't think we were gonna advance all the way. And I don't know how much you've watched national broadcasts on the Patriots, but there's been a lot of, oh, it's been the easiest schedule, been the easiest path to the Super Bowl. We played Justin Herbert, who's trash in the Super Bowl. CJ Stroud was a pumpkin. We played the backup quarterbacks like Broncos, and now we're playing the best team by far we played this year, the Seattle Seahawks. So I think some of it is fair. I think some of it, we did have an easy schedule and some things just went our way, but hey, it is what it is. We made it and we're there. So,
Yeah. Well, I think the thing with the easy schedule is if the schedule is really that easy, then how come it's the Patriots who are AFC champions? So, what's stopping the Bills from getting that last pass and being in the finals? Or what's stopping the Broncos from running us out in that last fourth quarter? I think that throughout the playoff run, like obviously we didn't have Ravens, we didn't have Chiefs, but there was opportunities for these other teams to beat the Patriots. And the Patriots were better. So I see the schedule. I agree with it for the regular season. But I think for the playoffs, there's really no excuse of, saying that, oh, they just kind of had a cakewalk into the finals.
yeah, and we played the best, some of the best defenses in the league. Chargers are up there. Texans were like top two defense coming to the end of the season. Broncos have been a top defense this whole year. So we didn't play, no ones. These teams were good. And, we had some breaks with the quarterbacks and whatnot. But again, if we win the Super Bowl, which we're underdogs, and I think it's going to be a challenge to win. But if we do win, no one's going to say, "Oh, they had the easiest path," and this is an asterisk or it doesn't count. We won the Super Bowl, period, and that's it. So
Yeah. I mean, looking at our franchise quarterback now, Drake May, I feel like he has comparisons to Jason Tatum. He seems to be like a really good character overall, nice personality. He's got a good family surrounding him, good friends, everything. And, he's really successful. He's probably going to finish run up for MVP this year. And same thing with Jason Tatum. He's a franchise player, really good personality, good people around him. And I feel like people just hate on them because they play in Boston and because of this like early success in their careers. Where in a second season, just like Tom Brady, similarly, he might be walking away in 2 weeks with a Super Bowl ring. And not many quarterbacks can say they've done that. So I think he has a rare chance to make history. And I don't think this is a fluke. I think he's going to be our franchise quarterback for at least 5 years.
oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no question.
yeah, and as far as Matthew Stafford goes, I personally think Matthew Stafford deserves this year's MVP, and that's not really a knock on Drake May, but it's just that when you look at the pass differential, he's got a higher percentage and also more touchdowns. So Drake May had a great season, but I say he's a solid second best quarterback right now in the league.
Yeah. So a couple of things. I think on the MVP conversation, I'm going to lean towards Drake May, and I only lean on him because yes, Matthew Stafford does have the stats. He had like 40 plus touchdowns, and his touchdown interception ratio was insane compared to Drake May's. Um, I will just say if you say you substitute all those quarterbacks with say uh Geno Smith, who was the quarterback of the Raiders. I don't think he's going to be the quarterback anymore. Um, I'm saying someone lesser. I think the Rams will still be good. The Patriots won't be as good if they had someone lesser. So that's my main argument for MVP. But really, could go either way. I think both of them deserve it. And it would have been. I was rooting for the Rams one because I thought we they would be a better matchup for us.
Yeah.
And two, though, it would have been cool to see both MVP candidates. Like, it doesn't matter. You can't vote during the playoffs, but both of them facing off in the Super Bowl, biggest stage. That would have been really cool to see. But unfortunately, the Rams cannot pull it off.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I'd really love to see the Rams play the Patriots. And I know the Seahawks, I believe, have 6 Pro Bowlers this year.
Yeah, they have a lot.
Yeah.
They have a lot.
And Patriots have May and I think maybe Gonzalez or someone like that.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but you look at matchup to matchup, like a lot of people on the internet are saying like, "Oh, the Seahawks are going to blow out the Patriots," which I don't necessarily agree with. But it's more so that I agree that the Seahawks have more depth and they have more star players, but the Patriots, like, I think that they're just going to game plan against them, and Mike Vrabel will be able to like combat whatever the Seahawks have going on.
Yep. It's important that you said that Mike Bravel is going to be key in the game plan because look, roster wise, they have a better team, and their offense is loaded. Their wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba is probably the best wide receiver this year. Kenneth Walker, the running back, is insane. So the way we're going to beat them is game plan and strategy and brains, not really skill per se. And I think we have the coach to do that, and the players who believe in Coach Vrabel to do that. Now, have you heard what Coach Vrabel has said in the locker rooms with the Patriots?
I
Is still
don't
saying.
recall.
Okay, I'll try to replicate that here.
Okay.
Putting my yeah, let me just replicate that here. Warriors, come out and play. That's what he kind of that's what he kind of is. Yes, a little strange. But they buy into it. So I mean, keep going, keep
Oh
that
yeah,
keep that
definitely.
mentality.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say there's no doubt that Mike Vrabel's probably coach of the year. And if you look on the field, he's always like leaning over. He looks engaged. And then if a player, does something, if they like get knocked down or they get hurt, he's always running up to the field to try to see them, ask them how they're doing.
right.
And after the games, he's doing the same thing, always like hugging the players, roughing them up. And he just seems like very interactive, and everyone's buying into his system because of who he is and what he's done over the last couple of years.
I agree. He's maybe the main reason why we've had from 4-13 to 14-3, and now in the Super Bowl. So huge props to him, the coaching staff, and whatnot. Now, Eric, you wanted to bring up the halftime show with Bad Bunny, and talk about for that a little bit. So, what are your thoughts on Bad Bunny coming in to the halftime show? And do you like Bad Bunny? All that stuff.
Hmm. Well, I'll start by saying I think that Bad Bunny is a great musical artist. He really gives a lot of pride to the Hispanic community. And no, Sodi, of course, my girlfriend, she herself is Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
So I know her family is really looking forward to watching this performance. And I'll say there's a lot of people who are not looking forward to the performance.
sure.
So you kind of got a split audience. And I'm going to say overall, I think Bad Bunny is actually a great choice for the Super Bowl. We have had Shakira in the past, Jennifer Lopez in the past. We've had, musicians of different ethnic backgrounds and different genres and all that. And I think that Bad Bunny has a lot of songs that really captivate audiences. It has a nice electronic, uplifting sound to it, and also songs that are really like heartwarming. Like, I don't know if you ever listened to DTMF,
No, I don't think so. No.
but it's basically like, I don't know if I'm gonna say it right. Dividia de foto de cuando
Oh
te
yeah, yeah, yeah,
quiero.
yeah.
Like, I think that's a perfect song for a stadium like that. I
Okay.
think it's gonna be, like, really uniting, it's gonna be a really amazing cultural display, and, the United States is this big, I forgot what they call it, like a tuna casserole, a melting pot, whatever you yeah. But I'm not making a political statement, I'm just saying I think he's gonna be a great musical choice, and he deserves it. He's one of the most streamed artists in the world, most popular artists in the world, and so I'm looking forward to watching.
Yeah, I have a good idea why the NFL had Bad Bunny in for their next halftime show. One, because Taylor Swift is big, right? She's number one artist, but I think Bad Bunny reaches more. I think he is more of a global artist than Taylor Swift. You can argue that. I don't really care. But I think Bad Bunny is more of a global artist. And I think where the NFL is going is you've seen them go to Brazil for a couple games. You've seen them go to Europe for a ton of games. And they're trying to go to Mexico and I think playing Africa at some point in time. I've seen commercials, but they're really trying to like reach the world. And so I think when you have Bad Bunny in here, I think this is where this is a the world is gonna watch now, not because football, but because of Bad Bunny in that halftime show, and all the NFL cares about is viewership and ratings and blah blah blah. And so that's going to bring in huge ratings, and it's going to bring in more so people around the world, not just people in America. So I think is a wise business move for the NFL, and I think also, I mean, I'm going to enjoy Bad Bunny. My girlfriend is also Hispanic;
Yep.
she's Dominican and Puerto Rican, so she's looking forward to that and wanting to watch that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a huge hit. Probably one of the best halftime shows we're going to see.
Definitely. And also with that topic, you mentioned past halftime shows. There have been a lot of past halftime shows that I felt have been lackluster. Um, Top of my head, I'm gonna say Travis Scott. Um, People have complained about Maroon 5. People
Yep.
have complained about I would say the best one honestly was probably Bruno Mars like 10 years ago.
I like that. Yeah.
But overall just like I feel like recently been missing that like wow performance. And I think with Bad Bunny they have the potential to have that wow performance.
Yeah, I think the Snoop Dogg one recently with like 50 Cent, I think that was huge, and then also Shakira and Beyonce, I think,
I think it was
I
Jennifer
or
Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez. Yes, Jennifer Lopez. I think that was good too. But I think this one's gonna hit different. And again, I understand people not liking him, but that's because they don't know his music because they don't know the language.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly what you're getting from
Yeah.
when people say they don't like Bad Bunny. So
Do you have a favorite Bad Bunny song?
I do. I can't remember the name of it right now. But I do. I do. Alicia knows what it is.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, yeah. But yeah, this should be a great Super Bowl. Hopefully, it shouldn't be a blowout like you were saying. It should be a closer game than what people are saying. Right now, the spread's like 5 points for Seahawks, which I again I understand how we're an underdog, but I think we're gonna. I think that's good that we're underdog because I think we can thrive being the underdog rather than the favorite. So we'll see how that goes. Moving on, we have some breaking news here. A couple of things, nothing too crazy in the NBA. But one thing here is John Morant will be out past the trade deadline with an elbow sprain. And the reason why that's mainly significant is because the Grizzlies have been looking to see if they can get rid of John Morant. So now that he has this injury, his trade value goes down. So, but even before that, I don't really know how John Morant was doing this year. I don't think the Grizzlies have been doing great as a whole. So it's interesting who will want John Morant. I mean, obviously he is very skillful and he's very explosive talent wise, but also he has a lot of in the past with off the court items. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting what happens with him.
I personally don't think they're gonna move him this season.
Okay.
I think it's probably too late for that, especially, we just talked about his injury. Um, but I think in the future, like, he's definitely gonna end up in a different market. The Memphis Grizzlies right now, I think, are 11th or 10th in the West,
Okay.
and I really don't see them getting within competitive range for a while. They just need more pieces, and I know they had, like, a very brief stint where they were doing really well, and I think that was, like, a year or 2 ago. But with John Morant, I think he's more of a supporting player, and that's not really a knock against him. But there's certain dynamics where you have like obviously LeBron James, Kevin Durant, like main players, and you have people surround them who make good like facilitators,
Yeah.
like Chris Paul. Dwayne Wade was a good supporter for LeBron in that era. But I think that if he goes on a team like the Knicks, well, I guess not the Knicks because they have Jalen Brunson, but
Yeah.
a team like even Miami Heat, if they get like people around them, but just a team where he could be a supporter.
For sure. Yeah. I don't I think at this point he's probably not your number one. And again, I think he probably maybe that's a good thing. He needs to be humbled. And maybe is probably not you're not wanting him to lead a team. But yeah, if he's a number two, number three on any team, I think that could help significantly. But again, I don't know what Ja wants, and I don't know what situation right now in the NBA is going to be the best for him at this time. So we'll see what that looks like. Also, another star player. This one's a bigger name and a bigger injury. I'll say. Giannis is out for 4 to 6 weeks with a calf injury. He is also looking to be traded as well. So we may get to that more in detail later. But I think it's not just the injury with him. He's had a lot of problems with his team and with the fans in Milwaukee and all that stuff. So there's multiple reasons why he's going to get shipped out, not just because he's had a history of a calf injury, but yeah, there's a lot of problems with Giannis right now in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and I mentioned this earlier too before the show, but I feel like he's very wishy-washy. Where one moment he's saying that he's very loyal to the Bucks, he doesn't want to leave, and next moment he's putting out these tweets where he's hinting at wanting to go to I don't know New York, Miami, but he's very much like switching up.
Yeah.
So I think 2 weeks ago, um, he was like very much like I'm loyal to this franchise. I've been here all my player career, and now he's ready to go off into wherever. So I think that eventually he will get traded. I don't know if it's gonna be this season, but I would say within the next year or 2, he'll definitely be on a big market franchise like the Knicks or like the Warriors. So we'll see what happens, but I think he's gonna go somewhere big.
Yeah, he's not going to be on the team after this year for sure. Like you said, whether or not he'll be traded this year, we'll see. But I think what I've seen, general manager or ownership, whatnot, I don't think they are looking to trade him by this deadline. I think they're looking to wait. So it'll be interesting to see if Giannis stays after this trade deadline, All-Star break. How he's gonna play and what his attitude is gonna be. So
Do you think there's a team that he'd work really good on?
I mean, I was gonna say the Knicks, but I think they have good chemistry right now. Where I don't know if they want to kind of kind of split it up their team right now. Although their Karl Anthony Towns has kind of been a little problematic recently, and as people have been saying, I've listened to New York radio. That he's been soft and hasn't been up to his like he can't play defense. So, but I don't think the Knicks are able to get Giannis. I think the Heat too could be a possibility for them if they have the right pieces around them. They still have Spoelstra, which is a great coach. I mean, if you have him coaching Giannis, who knows? I think the ceiling is really, really high if that's the case. So I would say probably those two teams. I don't think if you go into the West again, it's loaded. I don't think he will thrive unless he's going to team with Jokic or Wemby or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I thought the Spurs like is a potential training spot, which would be crazy. But I think the East is where he would thrive the most.
Yeah. That seems like a good sentiment. And also thing too is with the East, the Bucks right now I think are towards the end of the middle of the pack. Like they're maybe ninth or eighth. And I think Giannis is probably frustrated that, this is the year where they should be breaking out. We've got the Pistons at number 1, which no disrespect to them, but that's not really like a solid championship contender. The Celtics, of course, are legit. Knicks are legit, but the Bucks should be somewhere in that mix. And right now they're not.
Yeah,
So I think that's probably where his frustration is coming from.
I agree. I think he wants them to be in in the playoffs top 6 team. And I don't even know if they're a playing team. I don't know how bad it is there, but
They're like on the cusp, I think, like 8, 9, 10.
8, 9, yeah. That's not good enough for him. So yeah, he definitely wants out, and he will be out after this year for sure.
And I've got
Yeah,
to ask too, because we've talked so much trash about this franchise.
yeah,
But the Toronto Raptors, they're ranked number 3 right now in the East.
yeah.
Would you say that's like have they made it to that point where they're like, okay, this is a legitimate position, or can they still kind of flounder as the playoffs go?
Yeah, I don't see him legit yet. Ingram, RJ Barrett. Who else they have? I was gonna say I know, but he's not.
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes. I mean, they're nice pieces. They're nice. They're good. But I don't see them as a legit threat right now in the East. But if Giannis went to them, traded maybe a Scotty Barnes away or something, then maybe you're talking. Maybe you're talking. But right now, as it stands, I'm not. I'm not too worried
Yeah,
about them.
the Greek Canadian freak.
The Greek Canadian freak. Yeah, that'd be his new nickname for sure.
Yeah.
And then finally here, Bulls retired Derrick Rose's jersey on January 24th. Um, Again, deservedly so. He's one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player. And I think, actually, I think they played the Celtics that game too. And I think the Bulls might end up winning that game. I could be wrong, but I feel
I
like
believe
they
they
ended up,
did, yeah.
yeah, they ended up winning that game. I'm sure they were spruced up because of the retirement party. So, but I think, yeah, deservingly so. Derrick Rose is one all-time great. Doesn't get injured. He's probably up there with one of the greats and wins a couple rings too.
Yeah. This is actually one of the stories for Newsweek that I covered like 3 times. And I'll tell you, Draymond Green, he actually said that Derrick Rose has a bigger impact in Chicago than Michael Jordan.
Wow, wow.
So I know Draymond, he be putting out some crazy statements.
Yeah.
I know you're also a big fan of Derrick Rose, but would you agree that he has a bigger impact, or would you say Jordan does?
I think it's I look, obviously Michael Jordan macro has helped the game explode you know, exponentially, nationally and all that stuff. It's interesting. I think still Michael Jordan has an edge um with the Bulls and that with that fan base. But it does you think about it, how much did Michael Jordan really help like the Bulls and like that like obviously I mean, he won 6 rings. Obviously, like
Yeah.
I mean, like I mean that's it. And you can end the argument there. But like I don't know. I mean, I think Derrick Rose definitely resurrected the Bulls for some time with Carlos Boozer and what's the other this? Oh, Noah.
Yeah, Joakim Noah.
Yeah, Joakim Noah. So like he resurrected that in that period of time, and now they've fallen off since. But I think you still got Coach Jordan.
Yeah. No, I would say overall you have to go with Jordan those 6 rings. But then yeah, in the scope of it, like Derrick Rose was the one who came back his hometown Chicago. He became MVP at 22 years old
Yep.
and helped, lead that franchise to an Eastern Conference Finals appearance. So it wasn't as spectacular like looking at the bigger picture, but think of the fan interaction and just the appreciation of the game. Like you would say that Derrick Rose is obviously a Chicago Bulls legend
Yeah.
and one of the 5 players to get their jerseys retired. So big props to him. And actually, I put this in the notes here, but you actually were number 1 for the Geosapers Royals.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know if I realized that I had D Rose's number. I feel like that was just given to me.
Oh,
Question mark and possibly because I was the captain, but yeah, no, I did not wear that number 1 good enough for D Rose to honor him in any way. But it's cool to look back and say, hey, I wore D Rose's number. And I
yeah,
was a point guard. So
yeah.
maybe Coach St. Jean was thinking about that. Maybe he thought that was probably the play to have me number 1 because he thought of me. I doubt it, 100% doubt
Oh,
it. But
you just got like a little like kind of like with Space Jam where they got the powers from the other players. Like you got like a small touch of like Derrick Rose's powers, like
yeah, I needed
maybe.
more. I needed more power for us to kind of to be good.
Yeah,
But
we were decent. We got some wins.
we got some wins. We got some wins. But as Ty would say, I was not playing in those wins. I was on the losing side of things. But you know, it is what it is. Is what
Yeah.
it is. All right, let's move on here. We have the NBA All Star Weekend coming up. Eric, do you know the dates for that? I honestly don't know.
Oh, so actually, I do know the dates for this.
Okay.
The slam dunk contest, 3-point contest, skills challenge, like all those big events,
Yep.
I believe are happening on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. All right. Sweet.
So
Sweet.
there goes my plans.
Yeah. Shoot, man, I gotta reschedule plan. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. All right. So Valentine's Day weekend, they're playing.
Yep.
Couple big items here for the All Star weekend. So with the All Star game, used to be East versus West, and they try to mix it up. They pick captains. I mean, a little different this year. It's gonna be a round robin tournament. They're gonna have 2 U.S. teams and 1 international team, and they'll be some way somehow round robin it up and they'll be in the tournament and then the final team 2 teams play and they win the championship. I don't really know how that works yet, but as we get closer to All-Star weekend, we'll let you know how it turns up. And then this is honestly the big news for me. Matt McClung will not be in the dunk contest this year after winning 3 straight. Eric, with those 2 things in mind, how are you looking at All Star Weekend from a macro perspective, just with these 2 things?
Well, I always look forward to watching the dunk contest. I know in the last 10 years, it's been Jalen Brown and also Draymond Green as the only 2 All-Stars to be in the dunk contest. And I really do respect Matt McClung coming in as a G Leaguer and winning 3 straight. That's not been done before. And I've got to consider him a dunk legend for that. But the thing is, if he's this amazing champion, which he is, I think he should continue defending it until he loses it. And no matter who wins this edition of the dunk contest, I might think, well, Matt McClung would have beaten them. So I think that he has the right to choose if he wants to do it or not. But he definitely should take that obligation of defending the championship especially being one of the greats to do it. Overall, though, I'm going to predict that there's going to be no All Stars in 2026, and it's just going to be a dunk contest of G Leaguers and rookies, which it's always fun to watch. But it's just gonna, I feel like, still lack that element that we want to see.
Yeah, I'm. I agree. He should be in this. He should be in this until he loses. I'm sure he's sick of it, though. I'm
Yeah.
sure he's sick of easily winning these dunk contests and having no competition. Really, I mean, there has no one that's been close. And look, McClung he's insane. Okay, he is short for NBA standards, and he can jump over Shaq Wemby easily. It's incredible what he can do. So he's kind of an outlier, but he's been amazing. But now we just go back to the no All Stars are going to be in it. No LeBron James. No, Jalen Brown. No, you name them. It's going to be cheerleaders, like you said. People who no offense, but are no namers when it comes to NBA and being on a starting lineup. So I don't care if you're a no name, but like, put on a show. None of these people who have been Mac McClung have put on a show. It's been awful. So the NBA has to somehow find talent. And I don't really care if you find it like on the streets. Can you get people who like can put on a show and dug for what? Like, man, that's gonna suck. That really sucks. Um, but maybe there'll be someone new. Mac McClung came out of nowhere. We thought, who's this guy? And then he just freaking exploded. So maybe there's another Matt McClain out there. Hopefully there's a few, like 10 for the next 3-4 years, something like that. As for this round robin, I don't know. I don't watch the All-Star game. I don't watch that anymore. Like you said, I usually only watch the dunk contest and maybe the 3-point contest. Skills challenge even is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, So those are the only two I watch. But the 3-point contest now is like, it's. I mean, they try to change it. They have 4-pointers or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. But we do have a wish list. So let us
Ooh, yes.
get to that and see, kind of what we the Barely Friends want to see happen. Who we want to see in this All Star weekend. So let's start with the skills challenge. And Eric, let's take it away with you. Who do you want in this year's skills challenge?
Yes. So my top pick for this year's challenge would be Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, yeah,
And the reason why too is right now he's ranked number 1 for MVP. And I feel like people know him for being this really like crafty, versatile guard. And so I think that he'd do a really great job of going through the course. And I want to see if there's anyone else who would like be able to match his time or beat him. But I just feel like he would be someone who excels at that.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I mean, he's top 3 player in the NBA right now. He has a lot of skills, a lot of skills all around. And I think that would be awesome to see. He's again one of the biggest names. Why not him? Why not SGA?
Yeah. How about yourself?
Yeah, I think for myself, gotta go Wemby. Now look, he was already in it, and he had a little scandal with Chris Paul the first time he went on. But I mean, look, it wasn't in the rules, all that stuff. He should have been fine. He should let it go. But I think he should legitimately try to do the skills challenge by himself. I think it'd be really cool. I think he's all around one of the best NBA players right now, and seeing a 7'5" and like dribbling around, passing it, shooting jump shots, like doing everything would be great. So, hey, what if it was just, what if you did, oh, I just thought of this right off the top of my head. What if you had each position? So it's like a point guard versus a point guard, shooting guard versus shooting guard, and they all face off. And maybe you put them together at the end, like to face off. But like, what if it was like Jokic versus Wemby? And then like, I don't know, SGA versus Doncic, right? Because they're both point guards.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like, I think that spruces up a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good idea.
That's just off the top of my
I
head.
would co-sign that.
Adam
Yeah.
Silver. Adam Silver.
Yep.
If you're listening, that's for you, my
Yeah,
man.
kind of like a blacktop where you just draft like these different players. Like it doesn't have to be all Celtics, it doesn't have to be all Warriors, but just like you said, different matchups. Wemby versus Embiid, Zion Williamson
Right.
versus But yeah, I agree with that.
And then there's different skills. Like there's like it's not all into one thing. It's like different things. And then there's a final thing where it's maybe like the I forget what the heck, but like the whole thing what they do at the end, or
Yeah.
like usually what they do is skill shot, pass it, and do it. But food for thought. Food for thought.
Yeah, well, the issue with the skills challenge is they call it a skills challenge, but then you don't actually have to make a basketball shot. Like,
That's what Chris Paul and Wemby debunked, pretty
yeah.
much.
So I think they did a great job of doing that. Like, it was worth doing that and seeing what they would do about it. But I think the NBA, it's up to them to address, like, hey, how can we make this more competitive? Because right now, the skills challenge is something that we could do, and we have some limited basketball experience. But the average player, right, has these amazing skills that make them professionals, of course. And I think that you should be held accountable of making a shot, especially if it's just for 3-pointer.
I agree. I agree. You need to change that. All right. 3-point contest. Eric, we want to see a 3-point contest.
Yes. Well, the NBA's right now leader in 3-pointers is Steph Curry, and he is well known to be one of the greats of all time for heading 3-pointers. So it makes logical sense.
Yeah. I mean, look, he should be in it every time. Should be like a McClung syndrome. Steph Curry should be in the 3-point contest every year and see who can beat him because he's the greatest 3-point shooter God has ever made. That's what Stephen A. Smith says. And that's true. So I will go. I have two answers here. One is Donovan Mitchell because just statistically, he's right behind Steph Curry this year in threes. So, I mean, you don't see Donovan Mitchell as a 3-point shooter, but I think just you have to have him in there because he's been that elite this year. So I'm going to go with Mitchell. And I think Luka. I think Luka will be fun. I don't think he's been in a 3-point contest, right?
Not to my knowledge.
And you're not going to get hurt, Luka. So you'll be fine. You want and not don't dunk contest, no All-Star game. You don't have to fake it. You can just and I think he would do it right. I think that would be entertaining. So I would say Luka and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
What's it called? I would also suggest I challenge Zion Williamson to join the contest. And I'm not sure how good he is with his 3-pointers, but I just think that it would be cool to see like how he does.
Going back to dunk contest. Wouldn't it be cool to see Zion in dunk contest?
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't it be cool to see him?
That's a good idea. They should send him an invite.
Zion, Ja Morant, and
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Imagine that. That would be ratings would be skyrocketing.
Yep.
Even if they were garbage. Like
Yeah,
at least
my
you would,
phone too.
at least you would want to see, right?
Yep.
Anyway, that's it for dunk contest. And actually no, the last
it's the dunk
it's
contest.
the dunk contest. Eric, you already named them, but who do you want to see in the dunk contest?
Yeah. Well, I think I might have rated some. I might have had someone different. Yeah, I said Anthony Edwards.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, Edwards, Williamson. You said Morant, and throw in McClung in there to defend his title.
Exactly.
And I think that's a great contest.
Yep. Now, I put LeBron James. Now, look, it's never going to happen because he said he will never be in the dunk contest for whatever reason. Even though he's, 42, 41, somewhere. He's old. He can still dunk. And if you had LeBron James headline, even though Mac McClung say he comes back and plays, if Mac McClung were to go off against LeBron James in a dunk contest, again, ratings through the roof. And then we mentioned this before, but if you had throwbacks like Zach LaVine or Aaron Gordon come back and do dunk contests, it would be great because again, Aaron Gordon got he was rudely interrupted by Zach LaVine, and Aaron Gordon, in my opinion, should have won when he went under the legs over the mascot and dunked. But there's near no there. I think that would be fun if they brought them back. But yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of no names and it's gonna suck again.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
But. Yeah. All right. Well, on to better news. The Boston Celtics are doing good. Surprisingly, they're doing well, and so there are a few reasons why the Celtics this year are doing good, and they do not have their best player, Jason Tatum. But a few things that I saw, whether it was Google AI or Celtics Wire, that I saw that are the reasons why the Celtics are doing better. But here are a few reasons. One, the team is playing harder this season than last year for some reason. And Jaylen Brown says, I think it just started from before the season. We just set a tone for what we want Celtic basketball to be. And then some other things here, strong defense and Jaylen Brown's great season. Which is good. Obviously, they're doing well. But it's interesting, that Brown, was asked why they play harder, and they said they sent a president before the season and blah blah blah. What happened last year? Like, why didn't you guys play as hard? If you did, you probably are in the finals and maybe you win. But I don't know what changed there. I don't know why when Tatum leaves, they play harder, I guess. But they are playing harder nonetheless, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess my main theory would be that when Porzingis and Al Horford left, that opened up a spot for Neemias Queta to come up and also Luka Garza, and then also with Tatum being hurt, guys like Jordan Walsh and I'm trying to recall the other guy in there, but like Gonzalez and
Yeah,
um
Hugo.
yeah,
Yeah,
but all those guys like they're younger players, they're hungry, they want that spot to be in the lineup, and so I think that the Celtics do a great job of drafting good players, and it just is showing off right now that they've continued to build the next generation of the core. And when Tatum comes back, he'll be able to reincorporate into the lineup. But I think it's just a matter of Jalen Brown having the opportunity to have his own team now. And right now, I think he's like second or third for MVP. But he's been playing great, of course. And then the people around him have bought into the system that Joe Mazzulla has.
yeah, yeah. Now you bring up Jason Tatum coming back to his team. Do you think it will be a smooth transition coming back to this team who was really successful right now, being led by Jalen Brown? How do you think that will go with Jalen Brown? Will they kind of butt heads, or do you think it'll be smooth and Joe Mazzulla will kind of make everything kumbaya and we'll be good to go?
Well, believe it or not, Jalen Brown actually has he has a low key personality, but he also enjoys being in like different media appearances, and he seems like he wants like the LA type of lifestyle, like nothing crazy, like no parties or whatever you call. But he's does different work around the community. He's making different appearances. He has his own podcaster or his own Twitch channel, so he's always getting interactive in something. And I think that having his own team, it gives him that extra boost of publicity to become like a face of the NBA. And I'm not saying he's there yet, but I think that's his aspiration. And Jason Tatum, same thing. He's a guy who comes in, he's a leader for the team. And I think they'll coexist together, but maybe deep down, like they can work together and get a ring. But I think long term, like they both won't be lifetime Celtics.
Mm.
Which this is like 5, 10 years into the future. But I'm guaranteed that either Brown or Tatum will leave. They won't. I don't think they'll finish their career together. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, look, Jalen Brown kind of has had his thing with he wants his team, like his own team, and you think he can make a playoff. Which, I mean, look, if Tatum were out this whole season, which looks like he's coming back some point in this year, who knows? Maybe Van Jabber could lead this Celtics team into the playoffs, and they could be championship contenders. Again, weak East, but kind of an asterisk on that. So who knows? But I think it'll be interesting. I think they can both become selfless, and they can both think about the team. And I think they'll be able to figure out a way. They've done it before. They've won a chip together already. So I think they'll be able to figure it out easily. Now they have no Al Horford, no Porzingis either. So you're gonna have to need both of them in this playoffs when it comes. And so I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're gonna understand what they need to do, and they'll be good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's Celtics is doing good. New England sports right now is looking good. I think the Red Sox, which again you're a Yankees fan, so you don't really care, but they haven't made a lot of moves during this off season, so it is what it is. They're at Bruins, they're mid two, so it's good that the New England, no one expected to be this good, and we're good, and the Celtics are doing better than expected, so it's awesome. We're
Yep.
back. We're back.
We're
We're back.
back. Yep.
One quick thing about Joe Mazzulla, and again, gotta give him props this year. He has helped the Celtics really been able to gel with all their departures. But he had an interview a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about an illegal screen, and I forget which team it was, but he was essentially saying that because of this illegal screen that had occurred from the other team, that they had lost. And so in the press conference following that game, he would tell the reporters every question that was brought to him, illegal screen. Every question, illegal screen. And at first I'm like, okay, like, wait, why can you just answer the question? Why you gotta be Bill Belichick all? Bill Belichick is a GOAT. He can do that. Joe, I mean, I don't know if you have the, right to. But in all honesty, he's won a championship. Um, I, I I don't think I can say anymore that he is a bad coach. I think he can have bad tendencies, but I don't think at this point I can say that he's a bad coach. So I think he has that right. I just thought it was odd seeing that. For me, I just thought that was kind of a strange thing for him to do, but I guess he can do it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you watched the game, but I remember very vividly it was Pacers and Celtics.
Okay.
And I believe, the big guy,
Miles Turner?
Siakam, I think.
Oh, Siakam. Okay.
Yeah, he set a pick on, I wanna say Derek White, or there was something, like, he set a screen, he scored the basket, the game was they were up by 2 or 3 points,
Yep.
and Celtics on the other end of the court, they had a chance to get a three-pointer, they missed a three-pointer, and the game ended.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, I kind of agree with Joe Mazzulla that the league actually did say, like, "Hey, we missed a call on that." There was illegal play being made. So they lost the game and they didn't get a call from that. But then they also missed an opportunity to make it three on the other side of the court. So, basketball is hundreds of plays over the course of 48 minutes. And it's tough to just really like result basically bring it down to just one play isn't really fair to both teams.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's why I'm like, there's probably more to this game reason why. If it was just one possession and it was just an illegal screen, there's probably things you could do beforehand that could have helped you bridge the gap more or increase the gap so that it didn't have to be based off of one illegal screen.
Yeah.
It could have been against the Pacers.
Yeah, one of the
They
worst teams.
stink. What are we
Yeah.
talking? What are we doing? So anyway, fine. Just don't do it all the time. And it was a one-off. I don't think he's done this ever in a press conference. So don't do this all the time, Joe. Don't do this all the time. All right. Other news here around the league, around the NBA. We already talked about it a little bit, but Giannis seems to be out in Milwaukee. And here is some, kind of evidence for why he's going to leave. One is he booed his own fans during a game. He, I saw the play. I think he got fouled and just sat there. And he looked. The fans are like the fans are this way, and he goes boo, and he boos them like this. Like, what are you? That's not helpful. That doesn't help anyone. So that's one thing. And then found this on Google. I think it kind of summarizes it well here. He's also very frustrated with the team's performance, like you were mentioned before. There's splintering locker rooms, so there's beef in the locker room, and then recurrent injuries. He's had this calf injury plague him before, so those are the reasons why kind of this is his descent, and he's going to go somewhere. The question is where and when, and we don't know. But if you're looking at Giannis and you're a team who could have the trade assets to get him at some point in time, but you're looking at how he's acting in Milwaukee, does it kind of like sway you away from Giannis, or do you still, because of how freakishly good he is, do you still want him as a team?
Well, I would say with Giannis, there have been trade rumors about Giannis for, I would say, 3 or so years now. And with him, he is one of the league's top players. For a long time, people were saying that he might be the best player of the decade. And right now, I have to give that title to Jokic. But nonetheless, Giannis is definitely top 5 in the league and probably will be going forward. So if he does want another chance to win a championship, I think he's gonna have to leave the Milwaukee Bucks. And as I said before, there's teams like the New York Knicks or like the Lakers or even the Warriors that are maybe just one or two pieces away from win that championship. And he'd be good in an ideal market where there's a big market around them and they just need that one more piece. And I think if you're Giannis and you're the best player in the league or close to it, then I would say I have the money in my account. I've been in the league for like 5, 6 years at this point, probably longer.
Yeah.
And I would say it's time to leave Milwaukee.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Giannis's time is over. And if he wants to win a chip, it's definitely not in Milwaukee. If I'm coach, if I'm general manager looking at the situation with Giannis, you've got to be confident that the things that are happening in Milwaukee because of Giannis will not happen in your organization. And that's because of culture. That's because of your coach setting a certain precedent. And again, what not better culture, what not better president to be a part of than to be a part of the Miami Heat, to be with Eric Spoelstra, to be with I'm forgetting the general manager or the owner's name,
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley. Why wouldn't you go there? Because look, the Knicks right now are good and they're a top team. And some people have said they're, one of the top contenders to get out of the East. But I think Giannis will be able to lead the Heat. I think it'll be easy. If he goes to the Knicks, you got Jalen Brunson there. And that, is there going to be contention there to be the number one? I don't know. Jalen Brunson's hometown. I think New York fans really like him. If Giannis goes there, who knows? Um, I think he are the perfect team, perfect scenario for Giannis to go there and to try and win. While I don't know how long Solskjaer's going to be coaching for. I mean, I think he's still relatively young for a coach.
Maybe like 45, 50.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Is he going to get sick of Miami? Or does he want to coach somewhere else? I don't know. So strike while the iron's hot, so to speak. If Giannis is out there, I think Miami, you better try and get him as best you can.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, Miami, obviously we talked about Spoelstra, really experienced guy, and he's been able to take a team. I think, 2020, he had this team of Jimmy Butler, Harry Harrow, Duncan Robinson, and that they're pretty decent pieces, but when you talk about being the best in the NBA, like they weren't at that level. And he was able to lead that team to a finals appearance.
Yeah,
So that's just showing like how great of a coach he is.
for sure, 100%, totally agree. Um, and just one bit of New York news here. With the Knicks and the Nets. The Knicks were on a losing streak prior to this game. And they need a win big time. And they got a big time win. They won 120-66. Yeah, the Nets are not doing well this season. They have not been doing well in a long time. Michael Porter Jr., who's on the Nets now, who got traded from the Nuggets, may get traded in this trade deadline somewhere else because Brooklyn's Brooklyn. They are one of the worst basketball organizations. It was Detroit for a long time because I remember I made fun of them. Now I think it's the Nets. Now I think it's the Nets. They are awful. And when you look at the New York Knicks, which is their hometown rival, it's not even close. It's not even
Mhm.
close. So
Well, aside from Michael Porter Jr., who in my opinion is not really a franchise player,
mm,
but is there anyone else like of noteworthy like reference?
a ton of young players, like a ton of rookies. There's not really like anyone who's there that I can even think of. That's is Claxton still there? Neil Claxton, the
I think
center.
so.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I say maybe him, but that's
Yeah.
just because he's been in net for who knows how long. So it's not good.
Well, my hot slash kind of realistic take is I feel like as a GM, I could go in start my own franchise like as an expansion team.
Yep.
Like say hypothetically Las Vegas. I could have an expansion draft. I could sign G Leaguers and veterans, and I would still beat the Nets
Wow.
like my first year.
Wow. I wish I knew the GM's name on the net so I could shout him out and call him out for that, but you probably could. You
I'm telling you
probably
what,
could at this point.
go overseas. Gonna sign Dwight Howard. Gonna get Deron Williams.
Yep.
Uh, Derrick Rose. I'll sign him. Him out retirement.
Yep.
I
Yep.
got Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay, Shaq. Okay, Charles
Shaq.
Barkley.
Shaq Charles Barkley. I'll get like I don't know a relative of Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know a brother or someone, and then
Tall. He just has to be tall.
yeah just tall. We'll beat the Nets. All those guys.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm sure you would. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. So that's that. Just some Nets bad news here. What in the world? What in the world is going on? If you're new, our What in the World segment is essentially, we think of something strange, think of something perplexing that's happening in the sports world or entertainment world, and we want to share it with you all. So, you mind if I start here?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, the Lakers. The Lakers recently had a sale for $10 billion, and the owner of that time, Jeannie Buss, was run by kind of the Buss family for a long time. Her father was the owner for a long time, and then brought down to her. And there's like three other relatives that are in this Buss family. Well, news came out like about a week ago that there was a lot of problems happening in the core, and I was reading an article on ESPN. A lot of uh, the siblings of Jeannie Buss were wondering, kind of how is this being? Why is this organization going this way? We don't like how this is happening. And so eventually, Jeannie Buss kind of got sick of it. She felt like everything was kind of her fault, like from other people, and she was like, "All right, you're gone. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired." Like this was family. This was people who've been in the Lakers organization for so long, and the whole thing kind of blew up. And some other things that I found interesting was that Jeannie Buss kind of turned on two very significant people for the Lakers. One was Jerry West, huge. The other, LeBron James. turn on both of them. LeBron James kind of had no comment, like he kind of just like threw it away. But that's significant. Those are megastars. Those are faces of the NBA. And to be able to lose those relationships, lose family relationships, I mean, that's no bueno. No bueno.
Well, something I can say is I probably see LeBron as being someone who is trying to come in and is trying to be this big leader, and rightfully so. He ended up taking the team to the championship in 2020. But she said that he was tired of his outsized ego, and part of it too is that LeBron James wanted to recruit Russell Westbrook, apparently,
Mm.
like per the report. And then when things went sour, if she felt like he kind of just like dismissed it and said like, "Oh, not my fault." So I think that's part of the frustration. And like I said, I'm not behind the scenes. I'm not Genie Bus or I'm not LeBron James, but I'm gonna say there probably was some conflict with LeBron James. Like I'm saying, I don't have the full story. I read the report like you, but I could also imagine LeBron being a little bit, um, I don't say egotistical, but he's definitely made demands behind the scenes.
Yeah, when LeBron got to the Lakers, everyone knew this is his team, not just as a player, but he was, a GM essentially. He had his say for who he wanted around the league. And so I'm sure Jeannie Buss didn't like that because she probably felt like she had the power. So I'm sure they collided heads a ton. And obviously, things did not turn out well for them, sell the team. And LeBron's still there. So I guess he's the winner. I guess in that context. So there's that. Eric, what's your story here?
Yes. So it's actually a pretty brief story, but nonetheless, I think an impactful one.
Sure.
Yep. So next Super Bowl is actually going to be December, not December, February 14th, 2027,
Oh.
which also happens to be Valentine's Day.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And I know that a lot of men and women across the country are big sports fans. Mostly, I'd say men have the higher end of that demographic. And most of those men plan to watch the Super Bowl starting at maybe 5, 6 o'clock, which also coincides with what may be a Valentine's Day dinner.
Right. Right.
So it's kind of put a lot of couples in a sticky situation, I would say. So I'm going to ask Isaiah already what your thoughts on it and how you may possibly navigate around it.
Yeah. So I think it will be an interesting situation. I think mainly this will be mainly, for the woman listening, you know, they're gonna be like, especially if they're not sports fans. What the, why, this is a very important date. We should be having something. Here's my workaround. I think it's simple. If you're gonna do dinner, if you usually do dinner, just do it Saturday. Just do it a little early, Valentine's Day weekend, on the Saturday, heck, even Friday, why not? Maybe you can get it because everything's gonna be booked, which I got to think about. All right, this year, what the plan is, but got to think about what restaurants are gonna be full and if there's gonna be availability anywhere. So if you want to try to schedule out a couple days earlier, then you can miss the Valentine's uh express, so to speak, and go from there. So I think if you usually do dinner, do it Saturday instead. And maybe husband or wife. Maybe the husband isn't into football. Maybe the wife is. Uh, you you try to convince either party. Hey, let's just watch the Super Bowl. We had dinner. Can we just watch you do what the wife or husband wants to do, who doesn't like football, and then the other person does what the football person wants to do. I think that's a compromise. I think that's a good compromise right there.
Yeah. It'll work itself out, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. But it's more so like if you're the NFL, I realize that there's traditions and like things that happen every single year.
Yeah.
I also agree that sometimes you got to make an exception.
Mm,
So I personally, if I was like the commissioner, I would have chose the first Sunday or I would have chose the third Sunday.
mm,
And that's just more so that like I don't think viewership's gonna get impacted, but it's more so of just like you're putting yourself out there and testing the markets to see if like something's gonna happen.
right,
And if you put it the week before, the week after, you're basically not dealing with any kind of conflict. Maybe All-Star weekend they clash, but the NFL is ultimately gonna win any kind of viewership battle.
right.
So that's
Well,
what I consider.
well, I think you bring back they're gonna win the viewership no matter what. I mean, I think they're gonna win Valentine's Day no matter what. I think I think that's how the cookie's gonna crumble. So yeah, but too it is important holiday, very important holiday. If you're in a relationship. So, maybe do put it a week. Well, Roger Goodell, maybe put it a week before so that uh trying to figure out a clean way to just so that relationships can happen and they can be well.
Well, I'm gonna say for the probably 14 years old, which I know is really young, but for the 14 to like 40 demographic, I think it's gonna be a lot of heated discussions about how to spend them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it definitely like I would say for girls and I'd say some guys too.
Yeah.
But they really have the sentimental feeling behind Valentine's Day. My family celebrates every year by going to Wendy's. I think you've attended one or two of the celebrations.
Yeah.
But it's more so it's one of those holidays that it is important. It should be valued. And the NFL like butting in with Super Bowl is going to cause some conflict.
I agree. And that's why I think my other tip would be start talking about it now. Start talking about it today, about next year. I think that would be helpful for building the relationship and constant communication. Start talking about Valentine's Day, Super Bowl next year so that you don't have a problem moving forward. From Barely Friends, cosign. Finally, here. And then on some mailbag questions for each other. Eric, let's start with, I'll start with my question for you. Um, since we brought up Valentine's Day, um, and since Valentine's Day is coming up for us, since Valentine's Day is coming up, what is the first sport that you fell in love with?
Well, I'd say that I started my sports career by playing baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, I used to play for New Bedford Fire.
Oh,
2000.
nice.
Yep.
Okay, no, continue.
Oh yeah.
I'll
So we won the championship in 2009, but I got drafted in 2010. So I was playing for
oh,
the reigning champs, Um, but we did good that year. That I also played too. I think we made the playoffs and we went like maybe to second round or somewhere around there. And I for a while I watched baseball, but around that time too, I was also starting to get into basketball. So they were kind of like baseball first and then basketball soon after.
hmm,
But nonetheless, it was those two sports.
yeah. New Bedford, that's North End, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, North End, yeah.
Whaling City.
I was gonna say, I played, which I did play Whaling City for a little bit, but I played like when I was little, and then they transferred me over to the South Coast League, and I did nothing there. I played for the Dodgers, which is a good team now in Major League. Was not good when I was playing on the team, and I might have played for another team. I forget, but yeah, I remember New River Fire. I forget what team I played for. It was an
Like in the
orange
Whaling
team.
City League.
Yeah, it was an orange team.
Well, I played for Billy Boy Candy first.
No, I didn't play Billy Boy Candy, but I feel like they were my rivals. Our
Ooh,
rivals.
okay.
For no reason.
So funny enough, actually, me and Jamie were both on Billy Boy Candy.
Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
there's like very realistically in that timeline, like we probably played against each other.
Yeah, for sure. No, Brunswick's the bowling, but I don't think Brunswick was actually like a sponsor. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, yeah, I would say for me, I did play baseball first, but I was not a huge fan as a kid. I would say basketball and baseball I played, and soccer early, but basketball was out of the three my first love for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
I
Yeah, I
love
know
it still.
you played CYO, I believe.
CYO, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. I was all over the place, And then took my talents to charter, and that was the end of my career. So.
Yeah, I also got to shout out Jesse. We played with the YMCA Mavericks back in the day.
Oh, nice.
So I'm not sure if you were in that league at the same time.
Maybe I was on the Lakers. I
Ooh,
was on the Lakers at one point in
Ryan's
time.
also a former Laker.
Oh shoot, there we go. Okay, was it the? Yeah, it must have been the YMCA like in downtown.
Yeah.
Where were you young?
I was probably I actually won most valuable player. No.
Whoa.
Most improved.
I was about to
Not that good.
hit the horn. Okay, okay, yeah.
But
Yeah.
nonetheless, really great honor. But we played probably 2009, 2010.
Okay.
So like in middle school age around the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I played young. I may have played middle school too, but I forget. Yeah. So, all right. A question for me.
Yes. So in addition to football coming up, we also have a really important second event. And this Saturday is going to be the Royal Rumble.
Nice.
So of course, the winner of the Royal Rumble, they get an opportunity to challenge for the WWE Championship. I think right now it's Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, respective champs. So this big 30-man Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
Who do you have as the favorite?
For me, I don't know the back end. I don't know the lore behind all the fights and who's, all that stuff. But for me, I'm going Jacob Fatu. I don't think maybe he has been in WrestleMania before. But I don't know for a title match. I don't recall. So, and I like his energy. I like that he left Solo and Sokoa, and he has his own thing now. So I would like Jacob Fatu to win this fight and to be in WrestleMania.
Yeah, pretty solid pick.
Yeah.
Really big guy, and he's also
He's
really
a big guy.
Yeah, surprisingly a really good flyer too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Yeah. I would say my favorite is Roman Reigns. He's just a powerhouse, face of the company. Cody Rhodes won 2 times in a row, last year and the year before.
Yep.
But I think Roman Reigns he's not really had any recent opportunities, and this will give him a chance to get back into the title scene. And if it's not Reigns, which I think's a clear favorite, then it'll probably be Braun Breaker, who's kind of an up and comer. He's like one peg below that title match wave.
Yep.
And I think that would like elevate him to that rung that he needs to get to.
Yeah, Breaker, he's nuts. He's literally like he when he comes in for that spear, his veins are out, and he's fun to watch too. But he's great. He's crazy.
Yep.
Um,
And Dark Horse,
Yes.
Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic, oh please give me a break. I do not like Dominic. Oh, Rey Mysterio. Is Rey Mysterio in this too?
He might be.
Yeah, I thought I saw it when I looked it up. I hope he gets his, I hope he throws him off. There's a 619 to his face and over the top.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it for the Barely Friends episode 4 podcast. My name's Isaiah.
My name's Eric.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week and happy early Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And stay safe in the snow.
And stay safe.
See you guys.
Yep. 2 days off from school.
There it is.
Yep. As a teacher.
Why did you let me in? Why did you let me in?